It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and there's no love lost between these NFC West foes. It's the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks, and it's coming up next.
It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field. Today we've got a solid matchup in store in the NFC, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, this was a team after the Russell Wilson trade that looked like they might be bottoming out. But for years, the Seahawks have had great success in the NFL draft, as you well know. And they used the last few drafts to really restock this roster.
And they certainly have restocked this roster and have gotten back to playing football the way that they want to do it. Seahawks football, which means running the ball with authority on offense. They've added runners, offensive linemen, and now they're just being forceful in the way they're going about their business, the way that they did it when they ran to Super Bowls.
Then for the visiting Rams, they found out the hard way that you need a lot of good fortune when you win a Super Bowl title. And when you don't get that good fortune, as they didn't last year, things can crash down to earth in a hurry.
And none of us really saw this coming. Remember, they were 12-5 the year they won the Super Bowl, went 5-12 last year. Somehow I think this Rams team is better than what we saw last season, adding in a lot of new pieces in order to try and get back to the top of the NFC West.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Smith going to look to throw right away. And the Rams got it. They bring it down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early 2nd down and long. Now it's Smith. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Smith now to throw. Fighting through, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. The perennial Pro Bowler Aaron Donald gets the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Now a hit and a loose football. Well, one of the linebackers has got it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game. And we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running out to the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
For 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
And normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation, you have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a good.
And he's across the track into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Ken Walker taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Rams set to go to work on offense, and they're led by a man who topped the 50,000-yard mark in passing for his career a season ago. In year 15 now, here's Matthew Stafford.
Stafford, the Rams won it all in Super Bowl 56, but last season was a stark contrast to that. The Rams need their quarterback to recapture his form from 2 seasons ago to help spark another postseason run.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the 4th-year man, it's Cam Akers. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. The kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. They've been outplayed early, no question, down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
$14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it 2nd and 7. Now Stafford. He'll check this down to Akers out of the backfield. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Ready.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Short throw, it's Higbee. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Now it's Stafford. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he is going to have a Rams first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Throwing again is Stafford. He'll get this one to Kupp. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Stafford to his #1 guy, Kupp, for Los Angeles first. And CD, that's the 2nd time this half they've put it on the carpet. Now, the first one they lost. Good news here, it doesn't cost them.
They do say that things even out in the course of a ball game, so you mentioned they lost the first one. This time, able to retain possession, but they can't get into this habit. The ball can't continue to go on the ground.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's Stafford. That's complete to Robinson. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Stafford. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's long. Touchdown. Hunter Long from 10 yards out. And the Rams are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. But just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And that one will go down in the books as just a one-play drive and then 3 points tacked on to the end of it. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. The final shot before the break. Stafford. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward. Both these teams going through their final adjustments before heading back out of the locker room. Time for us to go back out to Lumen Field, where we rejoin Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. A 10-point game, 17-7 to score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that because those...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Inside the 20. Touchdown, LA! DeMarcus Robinson, 75 yards. And the Rams come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. I mean, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And it'll end there as he goes out of bounds, but a heck of a return all the way inside the opposite 40.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in position to score points with that big-time return.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try to make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Jordan Fuller there to take him down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now here's a throw. It's complete. And Lockett going to pick up a Seahawks first down as the tackle is made right at the 25-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Throwing now is Geno. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. But I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone came around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And down by a field goal, they'll take over with excellent field position following the interception. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this to Akers. Shifts by him, and he's got it down to the 28.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Robinson here. 11 yards there, just like last play.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Akers. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Caught left side, Hopkins. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Akers. And Akers, he is not going to get there. They mark him short of the first. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Now, the field goal ties it, but you're down here knocking on the door. What are you doing?
Did you hear the way you just said that?
Kind of.
Yeah.
With hesitance?
Yes, that means you don't want to kick the field goal, and I don't think they do either. They need to go ahead and get these points now and get an advantage and not tie it up. It'll feel like a big disappointment if they just kick the field goal right here.
And his kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
This taken in at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. Well, the bad news, they had the turnover last time. The good news, their defense only surrendered 3. So now we are set up for a great finish, all tied here in the 4th. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football. So there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion.
Has to be a little bit frustrating because of what you just described. It's been a struggle for him here in the 2nd half, hoping for one big shot to get him out of the doldrums.
Smith, this throw finds Smith and Jigba. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Pass complete. He's got Smith and Jigba. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. A tie game in the 4th quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Geno now to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, do you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send them after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now on 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made, in my estimation.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Stafford now to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football, but this couldn't be much worse, could it? No. This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T-form. They're already in field goal range here late in the fourth now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker. Just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
Here we go. First and goal. Walker. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, Walker. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. They'll try and run, Walker. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the fourth.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots and going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and they will take a 7-point lead. The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. So now Stafford and the Rams down 24-17. A little over 80 ticks to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Now Stafford. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Here comes second down and 5. Stafford. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The decision made for him. They've got to go. It's fourth down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't get in. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Here's Walker. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that should just about put a capper on this game. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on fourth down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the fourth quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the first down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead now up to 14. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. They'll come up first and 10 here. Now a first down throw, Stafford. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
You get into these 2-minute drill situations and you often got tired legs on the offensive line. But these defenders, they've been rotating in and out, and they're a little bit fresher and quicker. And the pressure there forced the incompletion.
That one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So the victory here for Seattle. And to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were at home. You know, you walked in and you looked at the advantages and you saw that they had most of them. It'd take a lot to try and even it up. I just thought 2 words for this ball game: methodical and predictable. And both of them came together.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so